Hello, how you doing, everybody? This is Nicole, your host for Paws podcast, and today I have a special guest. Her name is Lisa. Lisa's Little Rescue, and she's going to share with us today all the wonderful things she does for the wildlife. And we're going to get to know her, and we're probably going to start with, how'd you get started doing this?
Oh boy. Well, I used to rehab wildlife 25 years ago. Then I stopped doing it and focused on my career. So I moved to the city. Then I got married, had a baby, and moved back to the country and thought, well, let's get back into rehabbing. So about 2018, I started rehabbing again. So I've got 6 squirrels that year. And I thought, oh, okay, here we go. Sucked right back in. I love it. So I got redid my license and started rehabbing again. So I started off with 6 squirrels that year, and then the next year I did 47. The year after that I did 68, and it's grown exponentially every year. Last year we rescued and rehabbed 252 animals.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's super. What are the main animals that you either find or people bring to you? Like, is it possums, squirrels?
Yes, mostly small mammals. So possums, squirrels, rabbits, woodchucks, 13 line-ground squirrels, chipmunks. So those are the animals that we mostly intake, rehabilitate, and then release back into the wild. But what is very important is that we do help people, make the connections to get them to where they need to be regarding whatever animal they have. For instance, if you find a baby waxwing bird and you don't know what to do, I don't do baby waxwing birds, but I can get you to someone who does. So the important thing is just getting the animal to the right person as soon as possible so that animal can start its recovery.
Exactly. And that's like, you do the wildlife, I do the domestic. Yeah. So on my website, when people ask me questions and I don't know the answer to it, that's how my connections work too. Yes. I connect them. I share the contacts, or a lot of people ask me to take animals in. I'm not a 501c. I don't do that. So I give them outlets or ways to help them in, if it's a financial struggle that they're having or whatever it is. And I just connect them to the people.
Sure.
And I think that's like things that me and you do.
Yeah.
Is that we are conscientious of like our abilities and the people that we and other organizations that we can connect with.
It's always great to collaborate with other rescues, whether it be domestic, wildlife, farm animals, whatever, because you never know when you're going to come across where an animal needs help. Right. And ultimately, it's all about the animals. It's getting them the help they need as soon as possible.
Collaboration is super important. That kind of reminds me, you guys are like heroes times 2. And listen, folks, if you like what you see here, go to the old Google box, jump on that YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe, smash that bell for the future notifications for Paws Podcast. We appreciate Paws and all the sponsorships that are helping out the cause. And if you want to see more of the 2 heroes, the heroes times 2, that's what I'm going to call you guys.
Okay.
We'll appreciate it. And I'm going to say this off on the sidelines. There is a little box with a what's in there again?
Oh, that is the QR code for the rescue, the expo that we're doing in March.
Well, that's awesome. So you have a little box right there.
Yep.
With a little birdie in it.
The little Amazon box.
Yes. The cutest little bird in the world, sleeping now, so we don't want to disturb it. But listen, she came to a podcast, Nicole, with a rescue that she's rescuing to make sure it's still going to stay okay, and brought it to the podcast. You can't get cooler than that.
She brought it.
I brought it.
You brought it.
You
saved it.
She found me in the parking lot.
See, this is what I don't know.
Yeah. So
she walked in with the bird.
Right. She was helping me carry stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you find the bird?
Well, the bug man came today to spray our house, and he kept putting it in the tree, and then it would fall and be on the sidewalk. And so then we left it for a little bit, and then it was just kind of going like that. And I'm like, the neighbor kids are going to accidentally run it over, and one of the neighborhood cats is going to eat it. And I just couldn't leave it there. So I made it a little nest and keeping it warm. And I brought it so that me and Lisa could discuss what's the best option for the bird.
I love that. You guys have such big hearts.
I think it was like fate, omen. I'm kind of weird about those things. I mean, on what day am I going to get a wild bird? And
I don't know. I can tell you this much: if I fell on the sidewalk, people would step over me.
I
to
would
get
pick
to the
you up,
bird.
Drew.
So,
I would.
good luck with that. You would hope a weight belt and maybe about 30 other guys.
Well, you know what? I would get you up somehow to save you.
You're awesome. Yeah. So, hey, listen, I'll let you get back with Lisa here.
Okay.
But I thought that was pretty cool. And obviously in the beginning here, I usually do my announcements. I didn't know if you were tossing me the ball, if I was tossing the ball back to you. This is how we do here, folks. Listen.
Right. Yeah.
This is all natural, right? This
Yes.
is how we do our podcast here. It's real. It's the real deal. Nothing staged, nothing practiced. You're going to get authenticity when you come to 21-6 Creators.
Right. So if we screw up or we're like deer in the headlights, it's
right.
Got to go with it because
Thank
that's
God
what
you're
you get.
human. That's what it's going to show. You are not AI, Nicole, right?
For sure.
So real quick, so Lisa, you got some fantastic things going on, and we're really excited. We're obviously going to tackle a little bit of everything today with you. What's the biggest thing that you're working on right now?
The biggest thing, well, we're in the middle of rescue season. So we're actually round 2 of babies. So babies are born in the spring, like March, April, and then they're born again July, early August. So now we've got a lot of animals coming in. So it's just, keeping up on the formulas and the fresh produce and chopping and making sure everyone's cages are clean and getting animals to where they need to be. And then, of course, we're working on our expo that's coming up in March. So trying to get that promoted and get some vendors and stuff like that going. So,
yep.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you find doing what you do, and how do you overcome them?
Challenges. Most of the challenges we get is that when people find an orphan animal or an injured animal, they don't know what to do, which makes sense. There's no book, it's not advertised, so you don't know what to do. So, the biggest challenge for us is just educating the public. What do you do when you find a baby animal or an injured animal so that the animal can get help right away? So that's probably one of our biggest challenges. And actually, people taking it amongst themselves to try to rescue the animal themselves. And they don't necessarily know how to do that, what formulas to use, what not to do, what to do. So very often we get animals in that are in really bad shape because people fed them the wrong diet. They gave them baths and stuff like that. And it's like, oh no, all the things, they didn't realize that the fly strike was going to turn into maggots 24 hours later. Oh. So it's just things like that, just always trying to educate the public, call us right away and get that animal to rescue.
Yeah, knowing the who is better than knowing the how.
Yeah.
If you don't know the how, folks, find the who that knows the how.
Yeah.
I know that when you see it on YouTube all the time, somebody finds the baby squirrel that fell out of the tree and they bring it in their house and they're doing all the right things, or they think they are, but are you actually making it worse? And not only that, what for your own health's sake?
Oh yeah.
People go through. So you guys are well versed in this. So yeah, Nicole, do you seem to have that where people think they know when they're starting to foster an animal? Is there like an educational course that you can go through, or is this all like learned by failure? Is it throw enough at the wall and whatever sticks?
We always recommend that if you want to learn how to do wildlife, we're always looking for volunteers.
Awesome.
So I always advertise, we will we'll train you on everything, and we'll help you get licensed if that's the direction you want to go. But it's mostly hands-on because there are no classes for what we do. So you just, you go to another rescue and you watch and observe.
Really learn from each
other.
other.
And you really learn. Yeah. So, that's what's great about collaboration is that we really lean on each other. Like, hey, I've got this problem. What do you use for this animal is got diarrhea or vomiting or whatever, what can I do? And we all lean on each other for that. So.
Right. That's where I learned most of mine too, is from my fosters that we foster together. But I do have to say that Anderson and Paws that I work with, I can't speak for anyone else because I don't know, but Anderson does have a lot of training classes. They will help you with stuff. They will teach you with stuff. And Paws too. you need to know something or need to know how to do it.
Yeah.
They're always, I mean, I can't say enough good things about,
Right.
being with them and fostering. We're talking about the public. What is like the top 3 things that people should know to do or not do?
Do not Google how to take care of an animal because so much information on Google is wrong, right?
Right.
So I would say do not Google, get a hold of animal services. They'll generally point you in the right direction. We have a wonderful animal services. So when people call with wildlife issues, instead of them going to the scene, bringing the animal back and potentially euthanizing it, they just say, hey, call Lisa, call this person, call that person.
Right.
So we kind of remove them out of it. So that way we can get to the animal faster.
And take care of whatever needs
and
that it needs.
take care of what is. And a lot of it is just coaching. Don't kidnap an animal before. Call us first, and then we'll tell you
what to
whether
do.
you need to take it or not. Because a lot of times people are quick to take an animal and the mom wants her baby back. Baby squirrels, for example, are the most common. People are they bring them in their house for 2 days. The mom was right there in the tree.
And she would have picked them up.
85% of the time, mom will come back and get her tree or will get her baby if given the chance.
Can I tell you a crazy little story?
Sure.
Okay. This weekend we were at my mom's and we were cutting down trees. Tree falls. My dog is like going crazy on a whole entire nest of baby mice.
Oh.
Everywhere. So here's me scooping them up, putting them in my shirt and trying to hold them. And my dog's running back and forth. Well, the mom was there. She wanted her babies.
Oh, sure.
But we cut down the tree and her nest fell. Well, so because I love animals, felt guilty. So I get on the gator, fly up to the house, get all these supplies. My mom had this birdhouse. I'm sure she was going to put it out for her birds. But it was really cool birdhouse. They had the bigger holes in it. So I stuffed it with paper towel and all kinds of like outside stuff for the mouse. Put it in this box. Then I made another top roof over the birdhouse. And then I put all kinds of food. Do you know she came back and got her babies?
Oh, yeah, of course. They always want their babies.
So we left her babies in the birdhouse.
That's awesome.
And checked it the next day. She came and got her kids.
That's awesome.
But we couldn't just leave them on the ground
no.
because one, they probably would have got cold, and we were working in the woods. We would have probably accidentally ran them over.
Yeah.
So,
and most of the general public don't want to see animals die or suffer.
Right.
Know? So that's one good part of what we do. Is people don't want to witness that. So
that brings me to a myth. Is it true? Because now that you mention it like that, are there animals that because if you touch them, do the you know where I'm going?
I know what you're going.
Right?
Yeah.
My mom used to say, if you touch that animal, mama bunny, mama bird, they're gonna kill it.
They really have no appreciable sense of smell. So I think that was just an old wives' tale to get kids to leave them alone. And I think it's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people call me all the time. They got all these gloves. They're like, oh, I found this, but I'm like, you can take the gloves off. She still wants her baby, even though you've touched them.
Right.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. See, folks, we're learning something new every day.
Oh, I have a good question. Okay, rabbits have their babies everywhere.
Yes.
And our yard is fenced in.
Yep.
And the rabbits still like coming to our house, even though we have dogs. And okay, what do I do with a baby bunny nest? Mm-hmm. Can I move it to the?
No,
I can't move it.
No. So rabbits, mama rabbits have a beautiful GPS system, and they will only go to exactly where they put the nest at. And the reason they do that, they put their nest in your fenced-in yard, is because they're so heavily predated on by coyotes, foxes, things like that, cats. So they feel safer knowing that their nest is in your yard because all the other things can't get them. And mom only comes to the nest twice a day, very early in the morning and really late at night. So they figure, your dogs can run around as long as they don't see the
they
bunnies.
did.
Well, you can take you can take care of that. You can take a laundry basket or a milk crate and invert it over the top of the nest.
Okay.
Put something heavy to weight it down, and that way the baby stays safe. You can still let your dogs out. And then at night when you're done for the day, when the dogs are done, pull it off so mom can come get her babies.
Oh,
she
that's
can come feed her
amazing.
babies. So before you let your dogs out in the morning, put it back on.
And then,
oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
I actually wish I
Easy
would have
fix.
known that.
We get so many calls, probably 5 or 6 calls a day for people calling that say, I need you to take some rabbits because we have a dog and there's a nest in my yard. And it's like, people, if I took all those rabbits that people had in their yards, I would literally have 2,000 rabbits.
Yeah, you would.
And there's not enough lettuce at Myers grocery store.
Right, exactly. Let's see. We did that. Okay, now does anyone help you with the produce? Can
No.
you can't go to like Myers at the end of the day
No.
or say they get it on Monday and by Friday it's outdated where they would give you 10 heads of lettuce.
No, yeah, I don't do that. Here's
Okay.
why. I've had
Okay.
people call like the food pantry call and said, "Hey, Lisa, I can give you some bananas that we can't pass out.
Okay.
Can you come get them?" But I mean, the truth of I have to work to be able to do this because this is a very expensive hobby, saving animals, because we don't get compensated. I think the general public thinks we're a division of animal services and
And
we're
we're
on the
not.
government's payroll, and we are not.
Not.
So
We are
I
not.
work to buy all the stuff that I need for my animals, on top of having 3 kids and stuff. So when I think about it, when someone calls and says, "Hey, can you swing by and get these old bananas?" It's a 20-minute drive there and a 20-minute drive back to save 50 cents. No, I just, you know what I
Right.
mean? It
Yes.
just doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
the volume of our animals change and move around so much. I would feel bad if a grocery store held a bunch of lettuce and I just released a bunch of,
And you didn't.
and I'm like, "Oh, I don't need the lettuce this week." So, I'm pretty good. I shop Aldi a lot. So
Yes.
I get fresh produce at Aldi's all the time. That way I know what I'm getting. I know it's good quality.
It's
we give our
consistent.
animals the best quality of everything.
Oh,
So
yeah, same here.
that's the best thing for their health. And
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah. I mean, same here too. I mean, everything that I do, well, I have to give a plug for my husband. He funds most of my adventures. And he very rarely tells me, no, I can't do it. But to foster is very,
Yes.
very expensive. I mean, alone, I probably spent $400 or $500 a month
Oh,
on
yeah.
cat food, cat
Mhm.
litter, besides what all kinds my cats eat.
Right.
And then I just went to the vet today to protect my animals in case
Yes.
one of my fosters will be sick. 2 cats, vaccinated, checkup, $525.
And and so the difference between wildlife rescue and domestic rescue. So let's say you are, you're fostering a dog for a particular rescue. So the money you get in, generally you get back out when they get adopted out, right? I mean, that's it,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
So the difference for me is
You don't-
I can go drop $500 at the vet for some wild animal. I'm going to say bye-bye in about
Bye.
a month or 2. And that's just out of pocket. I'm out.
Right.
I can't recoup any of that.
Right. So with coming to that thought, how about we put out there how they can support you?
Oh, sure. So I
Yeah.
have a Facebook page. It's
Yeah.
Lisa's Little Rescue. I am located in Rockford, by the way, which is Winnebago County. But we take animals from 4 counties: Winnebago, Boone, Stevenson, and Ogle counties, because they don't have any rehabbers.
Right.
So then if you go to my website, and on the back of our brochure, we do have ways that you can donate. We have a Venmo if you want to pitch in for fresh produce. We have a QR code for Henry's Healthy Pets, where we buy all of our formulas, because we buy formula for animals specific to that animal.
Right.
And then we have an Amazon wish list too. So if people want to buy something for an opossum or a squirrel or a woodchuck or whatever, they can buy stuff there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Whether it be syringes, nipples, whatever.
Right. And any little bit helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, go on there, pick 1 or 2
Yeah.
items and
Yeah.
that would be amazing. I
Yeah.
hope that some people, look at this and follow you and see
Yeah.
what you do. I mean, I watch your videos.
So it's a funny thing. I got to tell you about the videos. So I tried to, about a year and a half ago, I tried to what can I do to set myself apart from everybody else, instead of just the pictures and stuff. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start trying to educate people on what to do if you find an animal. So my 12-year-old loves to do videos. I'm like, okay. So he does videos all the time, and I'll show baby animals and how to feed them and how to properly keep them warm, what to do, what not to do. And we have some months where our views are like 5.6 million.
I know.
It's crazy.
I think
people
it's
are
amazing.
like, thank you so much for educating. And that's the key, because
Right.
I love animals and I love what I do, but it doesn't mean I want to take in another 1,000. I want to help you to prevent the animal from ever even having to come in to rescue.
Exactly.
Solve the problem.
That's just, right. That's with what I do.
Exactly.
Spay and neuter.
Yes.
Let's try to solve the problem.
Yes.
Make the problem maybe 100,000 animals less. I don't know what the answer is, but
Spay and neuter.
right.
Yep.
That's why we do what we do, is to educate. And even though I know that people can learn and know what they need to do, okay, now they got the problem with the financing part. How do I afford?
Yeah.
I mean, you fall in love with this puppy, you adopt it. You don't really, unless you do what we do, like all of our expenses with foods and vets and like just whatever may happen to them. You're like, oh man, they got to get vaccinated every year.
Mm-hmm.
They got to this, they got to that. Or I got laid off, or my husband got laid off.
Yeah.
So that's why I push the spay and neuter. That's why I share all of the free events or the low cost and share the food pantries. Hey, no questions asked. You walk in there.
Yes.
And they're like, do you have a dog or cat? Yep. How many do you have? And then you take, okay, I got one dog, you get one bag, and you get a bag of treats. And then sometimes they have a mystery free gift. Yeah. It'll be a leash or a toy or something like that. So that's my goal, is you want to get yours back out. Yeah. I want to keep mine in. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Well, that's why when I decided to do the expo coming up in March, I wanted the admission fees to go to Kibble Corner Food Pantry. Okay. So it's really not an admission fee. It's a donation to Kibble Corner Pet Food Pantry. And what Kibble Corner is, it's just like what you said. My husband got laid off. What are we going to do? We can't afford to feed our dog anymore. Go to Kibble Corner. You can pick up dog food, whatever you need, just to keep the dog in the home and out of the shelter.
Right.
Because people fall on hard times and they can't afford the dog food, cat food, and it's the shots, and especially older little dogs that need, $1,000 worth of dental every year.
Exactly. Yeah. I just had Woody went for his checkup today after his teeth pulled. It cost me $1,000 to have all but 3 teeth pulled.
Yes. Yikes.
Yeah. And they believe it was from being abandoned. Yeah. Not having proper nutrition, because when we found him, his face was cut open. He was crying in the woods. Don't know where, nothing about him. Yeah. And he's only 5 years old. He has 3 teeth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So it's expensive. People can't. But I really, like you're saying, I want people to know there is temporary help out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Even if
you just have to find it. Sometimes you might have to do a little bit of digging. Right. And usually your county shelter should be able to point you in the right direction on where to go to get some free help.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I like to push the food pantries. Yeah. Anybody who can help.
And
anybody.
TNR is really important,
Yes.
So
it is. So that's why we just got to keep, I think it's kind of not funny that I'm domestic and you're wild. But yes, it is. But our worlds intertwine. Absolutely. So much. We're doing the same things with the same purpose. Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to tell us about this?
Sure.
Okay. So tell us.
On March 15th, 2025 at UW Sports Factory in Rockford, which is downtown. It's a really cool venue, huge venue. It has a restaurant, bar inside, so you can get something to eat, have a cocktail. And we are hoping to have a minimum of 100 vendors. It's kind of like a pet expo, but it's featuring rescued animals. There already is a pet expo, MKE, in West Allis, Wisconsin. They have over 250 vendors every year and over 7,000 people come.
Oh, wow.
So I just came across this on my computer one day and I was like, oh my God, this sounds really cool. Rockford needs this. So I called the organizer, Beth, and I'm like, hey, Beth, I'm a wildlife rehabber. I saw your expo. It looks awesome. She goes, oh my God, Lisa, please do the expo in Rockford. Illinois has nothing.
Right.
No pet expo. Post COVID.
Right.
And she said, we get so many sponsors and rescues from Illinois. If you do it, it should be very successful. So I'm like, hey, I'm in. And she was so gracious. She was like, hey, go to my website. You can use my forms. You can steal any of my paperwork. I mean, that is someone who truly cares about the animals, right? It's not about her. It's not about her ego. It's not the fact that, hey, I started this. You can't copy me. So
Right.
That's where the idea came from. So the idea is it's from 11 to 4. We want people to be able to come and experience domestic animals. So we'll have cats, dogs, small pets, ferrets, whatever for sale. And they're all rescues. So
Right.
you're helping out a rescue. But we'll also have wildlife rescues like myself there. And then we'll have barn animal rescues there, horse rescues.
Whoa, I'm looking for a mini cow.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
And only if it's been rescued.
Your
Right.
husband-
It has
We're
to
not
be
your
rescued.
husband's going to
No,
tell you.
it has to be a rescued
Yes.
mini cow. No,
Yes.
we're only rescuing things. Yes.
So it'd be an opportunity for the public to be able to come. Maybe they're not interested in adopting a cat or a dog or whatever, but there'll be places, there'll be booths there where you can buy pet treats and pet toys.
I'm gonna be there.
And, it's a pet rescue.
Yeah.
Right? Or
Perks
it's a
for
pet
Paws
expo.
is gonna be there.
Yeah, you are going to be there.
I am.
And then in addition to that, we're going to have all kinds of kids activities. So there'll be, I've got this great face painter from Belvedere.
I'm so
Linda
excited.
Ortiz. And we'll have a stage that'll have educational programs throughout the day. So we'll have live birds of prey exhibits from Atwood Center in Rockford, and Northern Illinois Raptor Rehab and Education will be there doing a show. And then Randall Oak Zoo is going to come and bring some mammals. And then we'll have other programs throughout the day. So you can come and get educated. The kids will have fun. We've got arts and crafts and all kinds of stuff for the kids. And if you are looking for pet supplies, it'll all be there. And it's a charitable expo.
Right.
It's very important. It's
Yes.
a charitable expo. 2 lucky not-for-profits will
So
win
I'm
500.
showing this on screen as you're talking
Yeah.
about it. So
Thank
listen,
you.
folks, Saturday, March 15th, 11 to 4 p.m., 305 South Madison Street out there in Rockford, Illinois. If you're in the area, make sure you roll through there. As I'm panning through this, and look at this, what a gorgeous graphic that is, right? Listen, be a Possum sponsor. Why not? Listen, there's sponsorship packages, benefits you, goes to a great cause, and if I'm able to here I am not of the new generation, but I still have some tricks here. Maybe I can blow that guy up and try to get this guy right here. No, that's not it. There it is. See, even put your phone up against the screen there, folks. Go ahead and hit that right there. It's going to bring you a little QR code action. And, listen, what a great cause. I think that this event alone, and, I can't say I can guarantee it, but I can say that if the team of 2116 is available, we'll go record everything for you.
Oh, that's
And that'll be on us. And maybe we'll just make it part of the Paws podcast, right? And just have interviewing Nicole, walking around, talking to people, and giving you some awareness to it for your next event as well.
That'd be
right?
fun.
For
I think that'd be
year
great.
2 that we're going to do.
Well, this is our first inaugural. We plan on doing this every year.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
So we're planning
Yeah.
for the second one already.
A lifetime of greatness, right?
And what's
Yeah.
great about the event, it's only a $75 vendor fee, and that gets you a skirted 8-foot table, 2 chairs, 3-foot sidewalls. So that way,
Yes.
if you have a
What?
German Shepherd, if you're
Right.
rescuing a
Yeah,
German
it's
Shepherd,
really,
they're not licking their chops if there's cats next to you, or whatever, So it's going to be very, very professional. So we're
Right.
just really excited to bring a really cool to Illinois.
Right.
Not just Rockford, it's Illinois. There are no other pet expos in Illinois right now.
Have you thought maybe another way? Okay, so the only way you're making money to donate back on this is the vendor fees.
Well, hopefully we'll get some sponsors.
Okay, and sponsors. What if each vendor brought a raffle basket?
Oh yeah, we've got some ideas in the
Okay,
works for
okay.
all that. Yep.
Okay, so maybe we could include that.
Right.
Everybody,
I would
bring
donate
a
a basket
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody bring a raffle basket.
Yeah.
Hands down, no work there.
Well, another thing that we're also doing is Kibble Corner is putting together some really cool baskets, pet baskets.
Okay.
So if you bring a bag of dog food, in addition to, it's only a $5
Oh, yeah.
admission.
Tell
right?
them. Yeah,
So
that.
it's only a $5 admission. It's free for veterans, free for kids, but
Yes.
the $5 donation goes to Kibble Corner so they can buy pallets of food. But if you bring a bag of dog food or some cat food or whatever, you get raffle tickets to get those baskets.
Oh,
So in
I
addition,
love
they
that.
have a raffle basket section for all those people that brought
okay.
cat and dog food.
Listen, spoiler alert. Not only
Yeah.
will my basket be ready for the animals, we'll have animal stuff in it, but there will also be a bottle of wine in there for the owner. I'm just foreseeing.
Moscato,
Now, if I don't
Moscato.
see that on the raffle floor, Lisa, I know what's happened.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, we drank it.
AnimalRescueExpo.com, folks. Go there. Check out the website. Check out the event. It should be a great time.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're excited.
I'm excited. I'm like, the minute I heard your voice on the phone, I'm like, I love this lady.
I'm very passionate about saving animals, cats, dogs. We foster in the wintertime.
Right.
So in the summer, is when we focus on wildlife, and then we very often fail miserably at fostering in the winter. So
Yeah.
our dogs have very sad stories, but they're happy. We smile every time we look at them, sprawled out on the couch, having the best life that possible after what they've been through. So
Right. And that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and so, I have another website here I'd like to bring in. And as we're scrolling some of the verbiage across the bottom of our screen at the same time. So communicate, collaborate, educate, protect wildlife. Talk a little bit about what this website's all about.
So we talk about how important collaboration is. So, but everyone has their little specialties. Like I do small mammals. We have one gal that just does raccoons. She's a raccoon queen. We have Northern Illinois Raptor. They do, birds of prey and cranes and things like that. So we started a Rockford Regional Wildlife Coalition because we wanted to be able to have something quick for people to get to a website where they could find valuable information. I found this. What do I do? How do I reach? Because it's how do you find people? Like if you find a baby raccoon, what do I do with it?
Mhm.
So we started this website to give people, what do you do if you have raccoons in your attic? Let's try to solve the problem before it becomes a problem.
Right.
Before you shoot the mom and now you've got 4 orphans that you're trying to place, right?
Right.
So we collaborate with each other. So whoever gets a call first, hey Lisa, I got I got a dozen possums coming because someone, put out a trap at their chicken coop and killed the mom. So, things like that. So
Right.
we just try to get the animal to rescue as quickly as possible. But the website's helpful because it gives you a lot of good resources in the meantime while you're waiting.
Well, and that's great. So quick story for you. So when we first started here in this building for the studio, it was a storage center, right? It actually was a laser tag at one point.
Hence the carpet outside.
A leaping
Oh,
lizard,
that
right?
makes sense.
Nobody wants me to get rid of the carpet. And sorry, folks, you can't see the carpet right now, but
It's kind of vintage.
it's got an 80s vintage look to it, so
Yeah.
we're keeping it. Now we're theming
My
everything
12-year-old
on
likes
these, right. So I walk in one day and I'm hearing right now. Listen, my business partner is definitely afraid of birds. Afraid. He's like, nope, not coming. I'm like, no, we need to finish this. And so all these ceilings are lowered ceilings. So they're living above and they're getting in somehow, right? We've called the landlord. We've called the guy who caged the outside. The landlord got a maintenance guy, right? And he said, by law, we're not allowed to move them, which I think he's, full of it because he probably didn't want to manhandle the birds.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to manhandle them.
What kind of birds were they? Out of curiosity.
They were, I think Nick told me they were.
Like a starling or something?
Yeah, they were black.
Yeah.
They almost looked like a crow, but not a crow.
Probably starlings.
Oh
The
yeah, they
starling.
have the
Yeah, they're
taller.
They got a little
Yeah.
pattern on them.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Starling.
birds.
Yeah. They're in
And so I'm watching these things fly and smash into these windows. They're pooping all over pianos here. Right?
Yeah.
It's all over, and I'm getting frustrated. So Nick, my neighbor, who works for me, he is I call him the wild kid, right? He was the kid growing up in the creek behind me every day and messing with animals, picking up turtles, doing whatever. And I'm like, listen, man, I don't know what I'm going to do about these birds. Well, he walked in here, and there was one that was just sitting on the piano. And he just walked up right behind it, picked the damn thing up around it, went outside, and was like, because they caged all the exits. So now they're stuck in here. He was able to just, and it was like one bird flew down. And I think there were babies that grew up big enough because they didn't know how to fly good enough. It didn't seem like it. But it just kind of did this little fluttering thing, right? And landed at his feet like, I guess I'm next, right? And he picked it up and let it go outside. And I was like, dude, like for 3 months, we've been having these wild
Dr.
birds in here.
Doolittle. Yeah.
If I knew about this website, I would have called it. I would have been like, hey guys, what do I do?
Yeah.
Right. Had you guys even come out? I don't know. We're close enough, I guess. Right? Yeah. So listen, and I love how you put it, if you got raccoons in your attic, and listen, what they say about a cornered raccoon is true. And you don't want to mess with a cornered raccoon. They will mess you up. Right.
Yeah, right. Definitely not.
Especially if they're protecting their young. Well, listen, anything protecting its young, ask my wife. She's the helicopter parent that's hovering over my kids. They're teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, if you're uncertain, don't take it upon yourselves. Go to the pros.
Yeah.
So that's RockfordWildlifeCO.com. We have it up there on the screen. Store it, know it, be it. I mean, where we're at out here in the Crystal Lake area, we get a lot of wilderness, woods, stuff like that. And so when it comes to the situation, I'm going to throw a scenario at you. Okay. I'm going to try to stump you.
Okay.
Okay. Oof. So let's just say I'm driving down the road and, there's a deer in the road hit by a car's gone.
Yeah.
Deer's still alive.
Yep.
Do we call you?
No. You have to, no, that has to be dispatched.
Yeah.
So the weird thing about deer, we cannot rehabilitate adult deer. They get what's called capture myopathy. They actually get so nervous they die.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's dangerous.
Well,
I mean, there's no way you're going to put a deer, they could kill you.
We used to have a deer farm. Yeah. And you can kill them just from panic
They just
alone.
get nervous. They get so nervous. They'll just beat themselves up in the back of your car till they die.
Yeah. That's
fawns. That's another story, but that's also a touchy situation because, the moms leave the fawns all by themselves because fawns don't have a scent. So they stay away from the fawns all day, only come back and people go, oh my God, I found a fawn. It was abandoned. They scoop it up. I'm like, oh no, you got to put it back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's
all little tricks of the trade.
Well, the reason I asked that question is because I'm sure a lot of people, now that they see this website, are you going to get those calls? Because you're going to see a lot of
it's okay.
towards fall hunting season.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm a hunter, or was when I was younger.
Yeah.
We had plenty of acreages out and friends that had acreages out in Wisconsin, and I was always like, is this a humane thing? And absolutely, they're like, listen, if they overpopulate, it creates disease.
Yeah, it does.
And you're actually doing them and us a favor as long as you're not wasting it.
Yeah.
It's not a sport, right? You're using the food, you're leaving the entrails for other animals to eat. So it's kind of beneficial for both parties.
I always say as long as it's quick and you know what I mean? Right. The only thing I have, sometimes people shoot and you miss and then this thing
is running around.
Like, oh, I can't, nothing I can, I don't want to chase it down.
Well, there's a law on that.
I know.
There is. And those hunters shouldn't be in the woods, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
used
to do bow hunt, and that was one of the things. And the nice thing about bow hunting, it's a little more in the snow, so you get to track a little better.
Yeah, true.
If you hit it, so you get to follow it 9 times out of 10. You usually find it, and it's already storing your meat in the cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because, there are people. There's some hunters that are like, we're gonna go hunting, and they go to the public hunting land and they got the flask in their hand
Yeah.
and they've got a loaded weapon in the other hand, right?
Yeah, scary.
And so I've come across many situations where bullets were ringing over my head
Sure, yeah.
because of that. And that's why having private hunting land was
Mhm.
nice. And I think, listen, I'm dating myself on age right now because back in the day there wasn't too much of anybody watching. Now everything is pretty regulated and strict rules, regulations. But yeah, so a raccoon gets hit by a car. Is that something that you're dealing with?
So it depends. So what you have to think about is that, like, when someone calls me and says, I have a raccoon that got hit by a car that has a broken leg, to me, I know this sounds bad, but that's a minimum $500. So I go, okay, Lisa, do I have an extra $500 for that?
Right.
So if I don't, I usually just send them to a wildlife facility that can do,
that
help
has
them,
the bigger,
that has the ability to
the
help
facility
them for,
resources, stuff like
we
that.
do a lot of work with Willowbrook Wildlife Center in Glen Ellen. They are amazing and they help us because, it's hard to find veterinarians that'll work on wildlife. So we rely a lot on Willowbrook.
And do they help you with like cost-effective savings, or
They don't charge us.
okay, can you say that place one more time?
Yeah, it's Willowbrook Wildlife Center. When you pull up the facility, you're like, wow, it's a multi-million-dollar facility. It's incredible. The vets are incredible. They're just amazing. So I try to refer out cases like that are going to be very costly because it already cost me a fortune, just, the food and vet supplies and the caging and all that.
Yep. Right. Because everything I own too.
Yeah. Yeah. So when someone says an injured animal, I'm like, oh no. So,
well, we had this conversation before, Nicole. It's funny because looking in the right spot, outside the box thinking is like kind of what I do. You have regular doctors going to Uganda for nothing to help people to help, right? Yeah. If you're a veterinarian out there and would like to see and maybe make a difference and help these two heroes times two, feel free to reach out. And if they were going to reach out, Nicole, where would they reach out to?
They can contact me by my email. They can contact me on Facebook. I just, on that note, I want to say that my primary goal is to keep pets in their homes to help the people. People need help. People want I'd say 99% of people want to keep their pets. So we can do all we want to promote the fixing in that and the spade, the neuters, all that, but we need the circle to become full.
Correct.
Like this. We're too little people. We can't do everything.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, perks for pawscollective.com. You can see a lot of stuff on Nicole there as well. Find her contact information. If you're out there and you know that you can help, or you'd like to sponsor either this podcast, which actually goes towards that cause as well, or sponsor anything that they're doing.
Yes.
Reach out to Nicole. She will be happy to communicate with Lisa.
Reach out to Lisa.
Lisa, and what's the best way to do that?
Actually, my Facebook, which is Lisa's Little Rescue.
Lisa's Little Rescue on Facebook.
Yep. Yes.
So there's tons of people that need help while they're helping others. If you feel that you're one to give that help, don't hesitate. Reach out. There's enough. If there was more greatness in this world, helping, right? This world would probably feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
And right now the world's on fire. You look at the YouTube, you look at the Google box, everybody's angry. Everybody's
right.
Life's too short to visit on this blueberry.
Right.
And to go through nothing but that. We are all here visiting.
Right.
Let's help each other. And the animals visit here too.
Right.
Let's help them as we grow as well.
And we can coexist.
I wanted to ask Lisa this. Does it heal your heart?
Oh, it sure does. When you get some little bitty animal that you knew was going to die and then you raise it and then you release it back into the wild and you know it's going to survive.
Right.
That's what it's all about.
Right. And when you feel that love,
Yeah.
it just like rejuvenates. I mean, I know
Yes.
we're tired. I have 5 bottle fed kittens. I'm feeding them every 3 hours
Yes.
and they got poopy feet and
Yes.
I'm washing them up, But when some of them I get at 4 days old, you get they're going to make it.
Yeah.
They can get adopted and go to their forever home.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just want to say, I love you.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you
too.
for everything you do. Thank you for coming on the
Sure.
show.
Thank
Anytime you want to come back, you are
Thank you.
completely welcome. We can do whatever you want. There's no rules here. Just a bunch of,
All right. Well, maybe next time I'll bring some animals.
that would be really cool.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
more welcome to do that. Yeah.
Drew will have to bring his kids then. But before we go, I have to do one shout out here.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So because my next show is after this. Lou Backrow in Cherry Valley Mall is going to be sponsoring the Pouchapalooza, and Paws is going to be there with their fosters. We are going to have, I should say they are putting this on, and they are allowing vendors to come. So I will be there as a vendor. Plus I will be there as a foster with my rescue. And it is Saturday, September 21st, and it's 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. And I would love you to come. It's on my Facebook. So if you can't remember this, or if you want to watch us talk again, that would be great. But if not, it's going to be at Lou Backrow Chevy Buick. And they are absolutely very giving to us as an organization. And you know what? Maybe you'll go home with a dog. Maybe you'll go home with a car. Maybe you just want to see what we're all about, and you want to be a part of what we do. Go
home with a dog and a car. You throw in a house, I'm there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
wow,
maybe we
that's
can get
pretty
some
awesome.
realtors there. I don't know, but yeah. So come and help us with that event. And I got a couple of new things up my sleeve. I don't want to really let too much out. I got some really good guests coming up. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love them. And I guess we'll see you next month.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm really honored. Thank you so much.
Oh, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah, no, I'm like, you have no idea what it means for you to be you're my first guest. So
honored.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this
welcome
is
to the show.
Yeah.
And you listen, folks, from all of us here at 216 Creator Studios, we always say, and we will always continue to say, don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution.